Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Welcome back to the channel. I so appreciate you stopping by, spending a little time with me today. I always am so appreciative, so thank you. But we're gonna just do another little shelf highlight. Gonna do a little author spotlight today on Anne Rice books that I have on my shelf. Doing this little series as a way to kind of just showcase some books on my overfull shelves as this very slow library tour because I would see other people doing little glimpses of their library, like unloading boxes or going through a shelf at a time, that kind of thing. And I love it. I love seeing what people have on their shelves. So I've done a couple where I just kind of picked an author where I have a lot of their books and going through it that way. So this is just number 3 that I've done. So I thought I would spotlight my Anne Rice books. So let's get started. Anne Rice usually lives right there in that empty spot. So let's get going. A lot of these books I've had for a long time. I got into Anne Rice in the 90s in high school, and like a good, like alternative gothy girl. I wasn't always super gothy, but I was into dark stuff. But and I found Anne Rice, and I read a lot of Anne Rice in my teens, or maybe some early 20s too. But then I think, like a lot of us, I didn't really read a lot by her. So in these past couple decades, really, honestly, I read one of her like Jesus books. I don't have that book anymore. I remember reading that maybe about 10 years ago. Anyway, let's get on to the books. We're going to start with The Witching Hour. So I've got this really lovely hardback of The Witching Hour that I actually found at a thrift store, I think maybe last year or year before. I snagged it up right quick. I had a beat up copy, paperback copy of this book that I've since traded in, and now this beauty sits on my shelf. I love The Witching Hour. I reread this last year, and I just love this. This is the story of the Mayfair witches, who are sort of a generational family of witches that have this sort of connection to this sort of dark demon. It's good. I like the characters. Yeah, Witching Hour is great. I also have, I don't remember the order. I think maybe Lasher was next, though I don't remember. No. This is book 2 of the Mayfair series. There are 3 in that series. This just further chronicles the family. She's a chunky one. That's over 500 pages. Oof. Yeah. So last year, I always loved this cover. It's shiny. I always loved that color. It's so moody, right? And then, of course, I have Taltos, another awesome cover. This is book 3 for the Mayfair Witches. I love these sort of gargoyles, and it like kind of wraps around to the back. Look at that. Isn't that great? Yeah. I don't remember too much about the next 2 in the series. Like I didn't really remember much about the Witching Hour itself either. I need to reread these 2 books. Let's see. I'm going to include this in the witchy section, even though this is Merrick. And I don't think I've read this one. I just don't, and I don't even know where I got this book. I don't think I bought it new. Let's just say I got it at a thrift store, which I get most of. I get a lot of my books at the thrift store. But this, is related to the witch story. So this follows Merrick, who is a descendant of the Mayfair witches, but she is more practiced in voodoo. And I love this cover too. This lady with the snake, so cool. And yeah, I don't think I read this one. I should probably do that though. Let's go to some of her books that are not vampire books. This old paperback of Cry to Heaven. I remember liking this book, but about a guy who's a eunuch who's like a musician or something? Well, I don't even remember. I don't remember much about this book, and it's one of those books that it doesn't have a blurb on it. You don't know what the hell it's about. But anyway, it's got a really cool cover. So that's cool. I've had this book forever. Forever and a day. I also got this really old paperback copy of The Mummy. And I remember liking this one too, but I just don't remember much about it. Yeah. But I've owned that book for a long time. This is definitely a thrift store pickup. I know I've not read any of her Wolf books. I know more recently, what year did this come out? 2012. She has this, I think it's a series of a few Wolf books. This is called The Wolf Gift. The huge old house was wintry with deep slate roofs and diamond-paned windows. It was built of rough-faced stone. Reuben loved it. He'd loved it in the photographs online, but nothing had prepared him for the solemn grandeur of this house. And then it looks like he, I guess becomes a werewolf. I don't know. I haven't read it. I don't know. That's a lovely cover. I love even the spine is so beautiful. Yeah. That's a nice book. I have Violin. I feel like I definitely read Violin, but again, I just don't remember much about it. Yeah, he wants to be a musician. Ghost of a Russian. I mean, all this sounds so familiar. Ghost of a Russian aristocrat who preys upon her, using his magic violin to enchant her. Yeah, all of this like seems very familiar. Another beautiful cover. And look at this. Look at the author photo. She was so cool. She was so cool. I have got Servant of the Bones, and I know I didn't read this one. I know I did not read it, but it's beautiful. This has, I don't know if you can tell, this embossed image of, what is this? I'm not even sure what it is. I just see some figures in the front. It does, damn it, got stuff falling everywhere. It does wrap again around to the back. Sort of, looks like a menorah. Servant of the Bones. She carries us now into new realms of the occult, the mystical, and the magical, and into the presence now and through the centuries of a dark and luminous new hero, the powerful, witty, smiling Azrael, Servant of the Bones. He's a ghost, demon, and angel, in love with the good, in thrall to the evil. Okay, yeah. Sounds good, but I've never read it. I do have her, her beauty series, her Sleeping Beauty series. This is erotica that she first wrote under the name A.N. Roquelaire. I never knew how to pronounce that. Like I said, it's erotica. It's a lot of sort of what is the word I'm looking for? BDSM type stuff in here. Yeah, I remember it being, this is probably my very first erotic works, was this Sleeping Beauty book. So I read this, gosh, probably in my early 20s, maybe. Saucy. So let's talk about some vampires. This is a very old beat up copy of the Vampireless Chat. I definitely read this copy back in the day. And I love this like swooping text, and I love this picture of what looks like, a house in New Orleans with the wrought iron, work there. And Vampireless Chat I remember really loving. But I couldn't tell you a thing about it. I gotta reread these vampire books. these aren't really in no order. I just threw them on the chair here. I've got Vittorio the Vampire. This one I definitely feel like I read, but again, I'm not going to be able to remember a thing about it. This is part of the Vampire Chronicles, but she did, sort of a few books where we followed some vampires that, are not like Lestat, essentially. So this one follows the story of Vittorio. And, yeah, it's such a weird size little book. Like, I don't know. Like, this is a normal book. It's weird. It's weird. She always has deckled edges. Let's see. Vittorio is a vampire in the Italian Age of Gold, educated in the Florence of the Cosimo de' Medici, trained in knighthood. So this is a bit historical. Of course, we know Queen of the Damned, part of the just sort of original Vampire Chronicles. Queen of the Damned when Lestat is a rock star. Again, I love. She just has these very dramatic covers of her books. So there's Queen of the Damned. Here's another Vampire Chronicle, The Tale of the Body Thief. I definitely remember reading this one too. I don't know though. This was, I think, the last of the Lestat books from back in the day. She has new books, but there's the Prince Lestat. I don't know if that's the same Lestat. Again, I've not read any of those. I don't even own any of those. But anyway. It's just, again, another just dramatic cover. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. There's Nimnock the Devil. I definitely remember reading this one too. Probably the year it came out, 1995. Probably bought it brand new. It's a nice and weathered. So this has Lestat in it too. So this is book 5, I think. So, and I think Body Thief was 4. I don't remember much about these books. I think we just need to organize a Vampire Chronicles read along. This is a kind of newish book I've got. I had to repurchase Interview the Vampire because my old copy actually fell apart. I had an old hardback copy that I picked up at a thrift store probably back in 1994 or something, and it actually fell apart, broke in two. So I said, let me just buy a new copy of it. And so I have it. I do want to reread. The Vampire Chronicles and then finish out rereading the Mayfair Witches and any of our other books I haven't read because I just don't remember them. The Vampire Armand is one I remember really loving. Vampire Armand is one of my favorite characters. And so when this one came out, I remember grabbing this book and reading it right away, and just learning about Armand's past and his history, how he became a vampire, all that good stuff. I think it's just another just dramatically beautiful cover. So pretty. Yep. Very cool. And last, certainly not least, I've got Blackwood Farm, another Vampire Chronicles, another kind of dramatic type cover. This one I know I've not read. I know I've not read this one. Let's see, this one follows. We're at Blackwood Farm. The world of Quinn Blackwood, a brilliant young man haunted since birth by a mysterious doppelganger, a spirit known as Goblin. Okay. Looks like we go back and forth through some history. Okay. I've never read it. It's a beautiful book, though. So yeah, Blackwood Farm. Oh, this is when she had long hair. So there's Anne. And that's my Anne collection. I've had so many of these books for so long. It's crazy to think about that I've held on to them, but yeah, she'll always have a special place in my heart because I was obsessed with her stuff for a little while there in my life. So, all right, that's my Anne books. Let me know if you have a big Anne collection, because she definitely has more books that I don't even have. Do you like Anne Rice? I don't know. So really, you ain't gotta like her. Anyway, let me stop. So thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.